Hello everybody, welcome to my vlog. Thanks for tuning in. The old hometown looks the same as I step down from the train. There to meet me was my mama and papa. Down the road I looked and there runs Gary, both eyes crossed and chest so hairy. I thought I'd start with a bit of laughter. How's everybody doing? Have you had a good week? I've had a great week. I've had some lovely letters, so I'm going to start by reading one of my letters out. Okay. Dear Gina, can anybody read the cards, or do you have to be born with psychic ability? Love your blog, highlight of my week. Well, thank you, I really appreciate that. That's a really good question, actually. So, can anybody read the cards? I would say yes, anybody can be taught to read the cards. Now, I work in two ways. I work with the cards. Like I say, anybody can read the cards, but I also work spiritually. Now, I'll be honest, I don't think everybody can work spiritually. I'll tell you the kind of people who I think would be able to work spiritually. Spirit aren't going to channel through people that don't believe in it. So if you don't believe in spirituality, it's very rare that you'd get a message from Spirit. Spirit aren't going to channel through people who are frightened of it, because obviously they don't want to frighten them, so there's another factor, right? Also, Spirit aren't going to channel through people who are miserable and who are not compassionate. Because if you don't like other people, you know, it's very rare that you'd want to give a message and give comfort to somebody. So there you go. So if you're a compassionate person and your aim is to help other people, if you're not frightened of it, if you are enthusiastic and you're kind of on the ladder with spirituality, that's probably when you'll start getting messages. Now, when you start reading the cards, the messages kind of come through anyway. Now, I'll tell you how people get spirit messages. You can be clairaudient, and that means that you hear spirit. You can be clairvoyant, that means that you see things, you kind of see images above people's heads and things. You can also be clairsentient, and that means where you feel spirit. Now, I feel spirit around me. You know when somebody walks over your grave, well, you feel as though somebody's walking over your grave, and your whole body kind of goes cold and your hair stand up on the back of your neck. That's what it feels like when you feel spirit around you. And also, some people do psychometry, you know, where they get hold of an object and, you know, they can get vibes from an object. That's another way you can work. So I would say, yes, anybody can read the cards. It's better as well if you've got a high vibration. Now, I'll tell you about vibration. When spirit come to you, it's almost like, if you can imagine a radio station, right, and you're trying to tune into the frequency that you want to be. So say spirit frequency are up here and yours is up here. You have to kind of lift your frequency to meet theirs. Now, I'll tell you ways that would lift your vibration. Meditate, and that is a great way of lifting your vibration. That's why a lot of spiritual people do meditate, because it does lift your vibration. And I will be doing a guided meditation at some point. Dancing, singing, anything that makes you happy. Walking along the beach with the dogs, painting, you know, anything that makes you happy lifts your vibration. The biggest vibration lifter of all is laughing. You usually find that if you've had a good laugh, you know, if you've had a good belly laugh, your vibration's through the roof. So this is why I use laughter when I do meditation as well. So there you go. So try and lift your vibration. Not only will it attract spirit, it will also attract positivity into your life. You know, you will attract positive things if your vibration's high. You can always tell a person with low vibration. As soon as you meet them, you can just tell when they've got a low vibration because their energies, you know. Anyway, so there you go. Now, last week I did the Four of Wands and I did the Death card, and I couldn't think of a song for the Four of Wands. Now, my friend Ian Gray sent me a letter and said, Gina, there's a song, the Walker Brothers, My Ship is Coming In. It goes something like, my ship is coming in, baby. So there you go. Thanks, Ian. And also the death card. I forgot to do a song for the death card last week. I was probably talking so much about other stuff. So I would say for the death card, the song that I would choose would be Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult. Now, I don't know the words to that very well, so I won't be singing it. So there would be the two songs I would choose. So let's have a couple of cards of the week. The cards I'm using today are the cosmic cards. I love the cosmic cards. There's a lot of film stars in these cards. Right, let's have a look. Let's go from the bottom. Okay, we've got the Five of Cups. Okay, let me see. Can you see the Five of Cups? That isn't actually a very good card. I mean, not all the cards I'm going to pull out are good cards, unfortunately. The Five of Cups isn't a good card. At the very least, it would mean that you've had an argument and your partner's walked out, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, your husband, your wife, that they've walked out after a massive row. Or the worst thing it could be would be betrayal. Usually it means it's not the end of a relationship, it just means that you've had a betrayal or a disappointment or you've been hurt by this person, but there's still a little tiny window. So although the cups are down, there's one cup standing, so it's not completely over. Now, if you were doing this in a spread and the death card comes straight after that, well, I would probably say yes, it is over. But if that's the final outcome, there's a little chink of light in that relationship. So the Five of Cups, not a good card, but there you go. They can't all be good, can they? So the song that I would choose would be I was alright for a while. I could smile for a while. And then I saw you last night, you held my hand so tight, and I thought I knew all the words to this song. Okay, next card. The Emperor. Okay, can you see the Emperor? This is one of the major arcana cards. Now, the Emperor would be your father, a man in your life, so it could be the father of your children, it could be your boss. It's an alpha male kind of person, Alpha male, the Emperor, manly, in control, usually your father. So the song that I would choose, while tearing off a game of golf, I may make a play for the caddy, but when I do, I don't follow through, 'cause my heart belongs to daddy. So there you go. Emperor and the Five of Cups, two cards of the week. Right. This fella needs a battery for his watch. So he's walking on the street and he sees this shop window, and it's got watches and clocks and grandfather clocks and kitchen clocks, and he walks in. And he says, "Excuse me, can I have a battery, please, for my watch?" And the fella says, "I'm sorry, sir, we don't sell batteries for watches." And he said, "Oh, well, just give us like a face, He said, "I'm sorry, we don't sell faces for watches." He said, "Oh, just give us a cheap watch then, like a cheap, 10 quid watch." He said, "I'm sorry, sir, we don't sell watches." He said, "Well, what do you do?" He said, "We castrate dogs." He said, "Well, why have you got our clocks in the window then?" He said, "Well, what would you put in the window?" Have a wonderful week, everybody, full of laughter and sparkles, and thank you for being with me today, and I hope I've cheered you up a little bit. 'Cause my heart belongs to daddy, I simply couldn't be bad. Oh, my heart belongs to daddy, da 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 da.